guys, welcome to Fat Quarter Shop's FlossTube. We have an amazing tutorial for you today, and it is going to be really kind of like a behind the scenes. What Denise and I wanted to show you is there are a lot of steps before we can release a pattern. So before we release a pattern, we have to stitch everything. We have to test the pattern. We have to prep everything. We have to photo it. And so this pattern's not even out yet, but we thought it would be a great way to show you a finishing. So let's talk about what we're finishing today. This is a new pattern. It's called Spooky Cute Ornaments by ISE Ornaments. It is not going to be available on our site until the end of July. And so what I wanted to show you, this is a mock cover. So Sarah does all our cross stitch patterns, and so she just puts, this is what was stitched, we just put that in there until we get a photograph. And these were stitched by Denise with Classic Colorworks floss. And this is overcast 25 count. The one thing that we wanted you to know is if you're gonna stitch any of the ornaments that I'm about to show you and put them in the Tart Tins, 25 count is the fabric that will work. I'm going to show you the previous so that you can see all of them. This is the 5th in our series. So we have Spooky Cute Ornaments, and this is like a light pink. We had the Cookie Cutter Ornaments, which were Christmas. Sweetheart Ornaments, which were Valentine's Day. Star Spangled, which obviously Americana. Autumn Days was one of the first. And the very first was Springtime, or the most recent was Springtime. So what I wanted to show you is when you look at these pattern covers, the last two have this tiered tray on them, on the cover. And we got that tiered tray at Hobby Lobby, and the number for that is on the back. And you know, it's just how we displayed it. We put in some spring and fall ornaments in there. Our previous ones, when you're looking at this one, also was in that same tiered tray. Our first two are not with the tiered tray. They're just decorated, and we wanted to make the pattern a little bit less busy. And so we had to figure out a way to get from here to here, if that makes sense. And when we do that, obviously we have shown this 3 times in a pattern cover, but we don't want things to get stale. We want to keep things fresh. And one feedback that we got is it really looks too busy with 12 on here. So we wanted to come up with something that would fit all 12. So we have this brand new product. It's going to be coming out in July. It's going to be called the Wooden 2-Tier Tray, and it's going to be available at Fat Quarter Shop. It's very lightweight, and we had this made specifically for the ornaments so that if you wanted to do all 12, it wouldn't look so busy, but of course you can use whatever you want. We're going to jump into the tutorial, and these are, again, Spooky Cute Ornaments. It's going to come in stock in July along with the new tiered tray. And one thing that we wanted to jump into the tutorial is just to show you what we do behind the scenes. And when I say what we do, this means what does Denise do? So what she does, there's the Tart Tins. These come, we sell these at Fat Quarter Shop. There's 6 in here. And then there are 6 sticky circles. We have both of these products made specifically for this. You can obviously use it for anything, but we made it so that you could get all your finishing all at one place. These are white. You need 2 packs of the Tart Tins and 2 packs of the sticky circle. That's what she's going to start with. And remember, 25 count is going to give you the best results. And we've got 2 ribbons, and Denise wanted you guys to vote. And just kind of in the comments, just tell me, do you want to do the check or the stripe? These are both Stitching with the Housewives 3/4 inch ticking stripes. So you vote and let me know which one you think would look better. I personally like the check, so that when we get to that step, we can talk about that. And then our batting, we use the batting that comes in the 10-inch squares. It's just easier to manage, and we like that it's 80/20. Denise uses one 1 layer. You could use 2 layers. It just comes out super, super thick. Oh, these are 8-inch cut squares. And then when you pull this to the back, you need a very thick thread. So we have 12 weight here. You don't have to have 12 weight. Anything that's thick, any kind of thick, strong thread. I mean, you could use your embroidery floss, but then it would kind of waste your embroidery floss. But you want something that's thick, that's going to be able to pull everything. So any kind of thick thread. And then you need needles. Now what Denise does is she takes her thicker tapestry needles. This is like a size 20 or size 18 tapestry needle. She just leaves it left over from one of her projects, and that's what she uses to tie to the back. Obviously you need your generic, your generic sewing supplies. The only one I'm going to show you that we use specifically is we use this by Annie stiletto tool because it pulls off the paper off of the back of the sticky circles. So Kimberly needs to not say what she picks until after the poll. Influencer. Oh, okay. So let's see. We'll let Ashley tell us who we think won. And then the other thing that we wanted to show you is we, meaning Jordan and Denise, sprayed these and turned them black. So this is how your sticky circle looks. It's white, and it's a really nice, clean, flat finish. And we didn't think, or like if you put this in here, it's going to very much blend because you've got the light pink, the light gray, the white. We wanted the design to pop out. So Denise got Krylon black spray paint. She did a video that's on our channel. It's on our reels. Let's see. It's on Instagram and YouTube. It's a short video on how we spray painted them. So we used this glossy paint. We took off the hangers right here. So we unhooked the hangers, sprayed the front side, waited a couple hours until it dried, turned it over, sprayed the back, let it dry, and then we waited 24 hours for everything to dry completely, then put the hangers back on. This is optional. You don't need to spray paint, but you can see how that is going to look so much better than this. Obviously, if you're going to use the white, I would go with a darker 25 count. And I would definitely watch that video just to see. Obviously, you want to do that outside. You want to, do it outside where you're not going to get anything dirty. Now, what I wanted to show you is it's not going to be as flat and as shiny as the white because it's a spray paint. You're going to probably get some bubbles. You're going to get some like lint. You're going to be covering that, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So when you start to see the imperfections from the paint, just ignore it and go on. That's from Denise. And then Denise is going to start the tutorial. And one thing I wanted to tell you is what Denise does so that we can get everything done here is she does everything kind of like an assembly line to be the most efficient, to basically, if she has to stop to go to a meeting, so when she comes back, she knows where she's at. And she's the most efficient if she does 6 at a time. She does some parts she does 6 at a time. Sometimes she does 12 at a time. It kind of depends. So she's going to take out 11 sticky circles. She's going to set one aside. We've already lost the one. We lost the one. What did we do with it?
Where's that pack?
Look under that. No?
No.
Okay. So imagine we have 6. What she's going to do is peel the paper off the back using that stiletto, and then she's going to put that down on top of the batting. And then we're going to use that to trace the template that we're going to use. And she's just gonna put 6 down. So you can get 6 on each one. Oh, you need more? Yeah, he needs 6. She needs 6 more. Jordan brought 1. Thank you. And so we're just showing you how, this is how Denise would finish them all at one time for the videos, for the cover, and this is how we come up with the cover. So there's a lot of people behind the scenes that do all of this. So Brittany designs the ornaments. You know, Cheryl has a lot of input. Jocelyn, me, Denise have a lot of input in that. And then Sarah writes the patterns. And then a lot of people proof the pattern, all the people I just mentioned. And then we have to finish it, which Denise finishes them. And then someone will take a photo, usually Tori or Katie will take a photo, and then that photo gets sent to Sarah to put on the front of the cover. So we're just kind of showing you behind the scenes. And so she's doing 12 at one time. And we don't have a Sew Sampler subscription, but we do have the Stitch Quarterly subscription. And we're getting 1 more sticky circle. And then you can see how she's lining them up in rows so that she can easily cut, if that makes sense. So she's left-handed, so if it looks backwards, that's why. So she'll just cut those apart, and since she lined them up nice, it's gonna be easy. And she's gonna leave 1 separate because that's gonna be used as her template. Oh, she said leave it on. Oh, we found them, they were on the floor, sorry. Sorry, they were on the floor. Our bad, my bad. This is what Chris would say, my bad, my bad. He didn't know English. But we have a Stitch Quarterly subscription. It's not a box, but it is really cute. Okay, so she has 11 here, and then she's gonna trim around 1/4 inch, right? No, right on the edge. She's gonna cut this right on the edge. With this spooky cute, we are gonna have 2 patterns. One will be paper, one will be PDF, and we will have a Classic Colorworks thread pack. That will all be available in July. And so she's just gonna cut, and you can see, if you did all of these 1 by 1 by 1, it would take forever. And she's just using scissors that they don't have to be super sharp, but they have to be sharp enough to go around. And then she's gonna put the ornament on top and then pull to the back. It doesn't have to be perfect because when you pull that back, it's gonna smush down. And like I said earlier, you could use 2 battings, but it just is gonna be really hard when you try to come back over right here. It's gonna be hard to get that to flap down. And she's gonna cut it flush to the edges and then just kind of set those aside. I could cut one. These are probably too small to cut, but. So she's doing 11. 1 she's setting aside, and you'll see why she's setting that aside in a second. We have this spooky cute on the coming soon page. You can just click to be notified for the pattern or the thread pack, and when it comes out. But what we didn't want to have to do the video twice, meaning have her finish these and then do a video on finishing. This way you can see it like live and how it, so if we make a mistake on this, you'll see it on the cover of the pattern. How about that? That sounds like something. I have been making so many mistakes in my stuff lately that it's actually quite hilarious. Okay, so we've got 11 of those done. And she's gonna set those aside. Then are you gonna do this? No. She's gonna do ribbon. Okay, which ribbon one? Gingham. Ha ha! Thank you. So she's gonna cut all 12 ribbon pieces and make them into a bow. That way she just cuts them all at one time. She cuts them about 12 inches. So she's gonna cut that, and she's using the line on the mat. And she'll just cut all 12. So you can see if you do everything assembly line, it just makes it easier. And we do have Christmas ornaments like this already. They are right here. They're called cookie cutter. So we have the cookie cutter, the star spangled, the sweetheart, springtime, and autumn days. And I have stitched the autumn days, the sweetheart, and the star spangled, and the Christmas. I have not done the springtime yet. This one I'm planning to do at beginning of 2025. We released this a little bit late this year and I didn't have enough time, so I'm gonna do these next year. And then the Spooky Cute, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make those just because I don't really decorate for Halloween, but if I do, it'll be in 2025. I needed Denise at home to help me finish all of my cross stitches. Do you rent her out by any chance? No, but we're gonna have a giveaway at the end. And so you'll have to stay tuned. The giveaway is going to be, her finishing. Okay, now she's doing her bow and she's doing it the Priscilla and Chelsea way that they taught us on the video. And what, she makes all of these at one time, and the reason why is if you do if you do some one day and then some another, they are probably not going to come out the same size. It's really hard to get them the same size. So we do have Christmas ones. Do you mean Christmas in terms of ornaments? We have Christmas ornaments. Okay. Oh, okay.
Do you want to try to make one?
Okay, I'll try, but okay, yeah, I know this is gonna be bad. And then she tries to make them as consistent as she can. Oh my goodness, this is exactly why Denise finishes all the stuff. I mean, look at that, that's ridiculous. Okay, I'll try again. Yeah. I think Denise's fingers manipulate better than mine. Okay, that didn't even.
It's harder doing these on camera.
Yeah, it's hard doing it on camera because you're also you can't put it in front of your face to do it. You're doing it on the table, which is not exactly natural. No. Okay, let me try again. And shout out to Brittany. She designs all of the Stitch Quarterly designs. And Kathy says, I received my first Stitch Quarterly and loved it. So we will let her know. Oh my goodness. I'll probably get one and she'll get all of them. Oh my goodness, this is hilarious. This is exactly why Denise does all the finishing here. I mean, I can definitely do it. I just have to put my mind to it, and
I'll probably just do these for now.
We're just gonna do a couple for now because otherwise it's gonna take forever. And I'm just gonna say that we're done because now she's gonna cut the ends, and she usually does a diagonal. You could do diagonal, you could do straight, or you could do where you cut like this, like a V. But on something this small, it's probably not gonna show enough. So you can cut it however. Oh, yeah, let me put this back over here. So she's, when she does this, she's gonna make all of these into bows, doing them all in one step to make sure all the bows are consistent. And then after this, she's going to start wrapping her circles. And this is where she starts taking things one by one. And she has a table, like a finishing table, and then she just is able to leave it on that table so that when she comes back to it, nothing else has been on it, if that makes sense. Which is kind of hard to do if you're at home and then you have kids who are trying to use, the table or something. So Kimberly is the reason I've gotten back into counted cross stitch after many years. So many cute patterns from Fat Quarter Shop. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, we do these. I just want everybody to be very crafty and be able to do the things that they like. And what I try to do is come up with things that aren't in the market. Just things that I would use. And this ribbon right here, it's the Priscilla and Chelsea gingham ribbon in the 3/4 inch size. So she's gonna take one of her ornaments that's stitched, and she stitched all of these. And she used Classic Colorworks. And she's gonna use this leftover, which is the 12th one. And she's gonna use that as a template. And she does all of her writing on the back. So she's gonna cut a square that's 2 3/4 inches square. And she has found that that works best. And she's just gonna trim a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the circle, your farthest edge. And that comes out to be about 2 3/4 inch. You're not trying to get it exactly 2 3/4 inches. You're just trying to get a square around it so you know where to cut. And she's doing everything on the back. She's using a friction pin because it will disappear with heat later. And then she's using this as a template. And she likes to use a one that already has batting on it so that she doesn't have friction with the batting when she traces. Because if you just trace the batting, it will be kind of loosey-goosey. And so the reason she does the square versus just putting this, like instead of just doing this, the reason she does the square is it helps her eyeball it and get it more accurate. And the reason she doesn't do it on the front is, you know, it's just easier to see it on the back. And then she's going to cut. And how much are you cutting apart?
Like an inch.
She's cutting about an inch apart after. Yeah, there we go. Keep going. So this is 2 3/4 inch square. This one does not have the batting because if you put the batting, it's just not going to be as accurate. This is easier. Like if you put this down, it's harder to trace because it's so thick. So that's why she's using this one. And then she just trimmed about 1 inch away. And then she's going to take her really thick thread. You can use what I would suggest you just use whatever you have at home. Don't buy anything special for this. She's using 12 weight and she's pulling out quite a bit. Probably that's a lot of inches, maybe 72 inches. She's pulling a lot out because she's going to, you know, loop it through. Kristen says, it's so inspiring to watch Denise. I need to tackle some finishing. An assembly line is a great idea.
Of course I get a knot.
You got a knot. Where is it? I'll get it out.
Right there.
Oh, maybe I won't. No. We're going to just scrap that. That's a tight knot. What is the Stitch Quarterly? The Stitch Quarterly is a quarterly subscription that we do for cross stitch. It has an exclusive pattern that you get first, an exclusive bag that only the members get, a cute needle binder, all kinds of cute stuff. Okay, so when she is what she's doing is creating a loop. So she's 2 ends and she's threading that needle. So show them the loop. So like instead of threading one side, she's threading both sides together. And that just creates a stronger, it's easier to start and it makes it stronger. And it is kind of hard to thread this, just FYI. And using a thread cutter doesn't really work with the thickness of the thread. So she's gonna start and do a running stitch around the entire piece. Place your circle in after. So she's gonna start with she's gonna put the little thing through the loop. That's gonna make it start. So, because she has to have something to anchor it, And then she's gonna do a running stitch all the way around. And those are about 3/4 inches around. You want it just to be able to pull. If it's too tight, it's going to not pull nicely. It's gonna get jammed up. So it might take you a couple of times to get the length right, if that makes sense. Too far away won't pull enough, and too tight will pull too much, if that makes sense. And you know, this is not scientific, it's just, you know, going through. And that's why she did that really long length, because she looped it up, and you know, she wants to have enough to where you can pull on it. If your thread is too small, you're gonna have nothing to yank. The size needle she's using is a size 18. It's a really, really thick one. Just like a cheap, and you know, I would get just a cheap tapestry needle, the cheapest one you could get. And then go back around to close to where she started. And then she's gonna take the circle, place the circle in with your batting side down, positioning the circle within that drawn circle line that she did. Then she's gonna pull the thread to cinch it up like that, and then she's going to lace the back. That basically created the lace. And then of course she's gonna look on the front to make sure that that circle was accurate and adjust it. She's a perfectionist, so she'll adjust it to where it looks as perfect as she can. And then now she's gonna lace it. So she's gonna lace it by going, you go from one side to the other side, all the way around. So you could do all vertical, all horizontal, or you could do all the way like she's doing around the circle. Amanda, your sister, says hi. Hi, Amanda. For the Christmas ornaments, we do have the PDF pattern, the paper pattern, and we do have thread packs. It is called Cookie Cutter Ornaments. And we don't have, for 2025, we've already designed for next year, and we don't have a Christmas one for next year, but if y'all are wanting a second one, we could always do it in 2026. Oh, Kristen says, holy heck, she makes it look so easy. Yeah. Yeah, she does. But I think it's kind of one of those things, I always forget the name of the book, but there's a book about once you do something 10,000 hours, you become perfect at it. I don't know if y'all have ever read that book. It's a really good book. It's a really good business book, but it's kind of, you know, practice makes perfect, basically. And all that thread, you know, if she had it too short, it would be really hard to be doing what she's doing now. So it's better to have too much than not enough. And you want it to be tight enough to pull it to the back, if that makes sense. So right there, you might need to pull that one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to look good. That's what we were saying. It doesn't have to look good because it's on the back. You're not going to see it. She's going to hot glue that down, so you're not going to see it. And that's why she was saying also earlier with the spray paint, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're covering it up. Plus, you're going to make 12 of these. So, are you doing the knot now?
Yeah.
So now she's going to do the knot. So she's pulling that through, and then you just pull it through that loop. And you can do it a couple times or once or whatever you want to do. You just want it to be tight enough. And of course, you know, if you have an issue with your thread right here or something, you could always start a new thread, you know, after if you wanted to do it in 2 increments, you could do the first part in one and then the lace in the second part. Then she's going to take and just finagle the front. Now, how hard was it when you took these off and put them back on? Tedious, yeah. So I was thinking it was, but that's what she did, is she took these off, and you kind of, it'll mess up your nails. Did you have Jordan do it?
No, I didn't.
No, she did it. So it will, I mean, this will probably dry out your hands, but she wanted to keep the look of the rope. So just FYI, that's probably going to be a pain in the butt, just to be frank with you. And then she's going to center it. And I want to show you that, how it looks in the white one before, just so y'all can see if you wanted to do it in the white. That's the difference. And so at this point, everything she's doing at this point, she does one at a time. Like she doesn't do all 12 at one time. She focuses on one at a time at this point. That way, if she goes back, it's easy to know where she's at. And then she's gonna put the hot glue. Now she's putting some hot glue under and pulling something down so that it just looks cleaner on the front is what she's doing, I assume.
Yeah, there was a little pucker.
There was a little pucker, and so she's getting that down. And just take your time. I am not friends with that hot glue gun. I will tell you that I am not a fan of a hot glue gun. I will burn the heck out of myself. Now, Denise starts by using just a regular tape. I don't even know what you call it. It's just office tape. To get it centered down, this so that it doesn't move, because, you know, she just wants it to not move so that when she puts this down, this thing doesn't start moving with the glue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look, everything's pink. Imagine that. This is cute. I need one of these. Okay, so she has the hot glue gun. It's been heated up. It's on the side, but obviously when you start using it, it'll kind of be a little bit harder to use up front. You just want to make sure you don't get it right on the very, very edge, but you want to put enough glue to where it is going to stay. And you also want to make sure you're centering it with that hole. So if you took out if you took out the twine or the rope or whatever you call it, and you didn't put it back in, you would want to make sure when you put it back in, or when you're doing this, that you centered this. And you really want it to dry. Like are you gonna let it sit, or are we gonna just keep going?
Keep going.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going, but at home, when you do this at home, let it sit. And she's gonna take her bow and put the bow on there. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. It's so cute. Maybe I will have to stitch these. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I could stitch it and put it in. Kevin likes Halloween, so I could stitch it and then do put them in his office at Halloween. And then you want to let that dry. It's so easy for that. That would be the one thing that's going to come off most frequently, will be your bow, because you only have a little tiny spot to put the glue. So it's always good to have a glue gun at home, because I will tell you, when I'm decorating, sometimes it comes off. Having a glue gun is good. Another thing about the glue gun we wanted to tell you is, this is a tip from Priscilla and Chelsea from when they came to film. You want to have a big tip. Fine tip, not a big tip. Fine tip. The bigger the tip, the glue goes too much. So this is the one that we sometimes have it in stock and sometimes don't. It depends if the people send it to us. But Priscilla's advice was, don't buy the cheapest one. So.
Do you want me to do another one?
Yeah, we're going to do one more. And they're going to just watch, and I'm going to answer questions. So y'all ask questions so that we can get Denise to answer any of you guys' question before we move on. Magnets are a great idea for these. We just did them in ornaments just because we don't want them to fall off. And I think if we did magnets, they would fall off everywhere. So I'm going to give you one of these. It's okay. So when Denise stitched these, she stitched 2 strands over 1. And on the back of the patterns, it's going to tell you that. So if you forget it, just look on the back of your pattern. Brenda says, Denise, this is just too adorable. I can't wait to make them. A tree with these ornaments would be so cute. Yes, we haven't found a tree, because we haven't photoed on a tree, because there isn't a way. You'd have to do it all the way around, and it won't really work for the pattern cover, but it would be really cute in real life. Oh, she wants you to make one bow with the stripes so we can see what that looks like. Yeah, we definitely can do that. So make sure you'll ask questions. See, you can tell, can't you tell how perfectionist she is? Everything is like so perfect. So we'll definitely do one bow with a stripe just to see. I do think the 3/4 inch size is perfect though. Let me get that bow cut. Oops. I'll try to make the bow while she's doing that. We'll see. Maybe it's gonna happen. We're gonna see. Gourmet Law says, thank you for doing these finishing tutorials. Very well done and so helpful with showing the step-by-step tips. And we want to give a huge shout out to Priscilla and Chelsea because they taught us what we know and we're just using them as inspiration, so we don't want to ever forget that. And I mean, we're going to do this anyway. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to do this, so why not show it on a video? You know? And it's better to just show what she does because she knows what she's doing. I don't. I'm just reading the script that she wrote. Look at that. It's almost good. Hold on. I think I might have got it. Oh my gosh, look. Yay. You know, it was easier. This is a thicker bow, so it was easier. I'm trying to get it to get where it, oh, yeah, there. So it's tighter. She's cutting 1 inch. This is about 1 inch around, and she's eyeballing that. You think that's good enough?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. We're going to talk about the Star of Wonder in just a second. I already answered that. Oh, okay. What's the other question? Sorry. When she's drawing her square. Oh, okay. So this right here to here is 1/4 inch, a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. That comes out to about 2 3/4, and then from here, that's 1 inch. Did I get it right, Jordan? Nancy Page ties the ribbon on the rope hanger at the edge of the tin. So you could do, what she's saying is do the bow here and just hang it with the bow instead of having the bow on the top. Oh my gosh, I didn't do that right. If you stitch the ornaments on white cloth, would the batting need to be white? We always just use this color of batting. It's just natural. We do this on all of them, even if it's a black. Any of the black stuff I've stitched, we just use this. At first, that was what I thought, and I called Priscilla, and she was like, no, just use this, and it's totally fine. You could use white. You could use, you know what I mean, whatever. I think the 100% cotton might be a little thin. The 80% cotton, 20% poly has some thickness, and then 100% poly is just way too thick. Diane says, painting these tins black is a great idea. For the other seasons, I use the same tin with magnets and interchange the cross stitch and bow. Would 16 count work as a substitute for the 25 count? No, 16 count would be super tiny. So 25 count is going to be about right here. If you do 14 count, it's going to be smaller. If you do 16 count, it's going to be way in here. That's just a guess. That's why we do the 25 count. You could definitely do the 14 count, and if you wanted, just do that, and then you could add one more stitch up and around if you wanted to, or, you know, you could make it work. Also, one thing I did want to say is 25 count is much easier to do what she's doing right now on the back. Ada is really thick and it is harder to pull to the back. So it's much easier for Denise to finish on 25 count, which, you know, it just works better. The ribbon she cut is 12 inches. And I think this is probably the hardest part, is the lacing. How long did it take you to stitch all the ornaments?
Like one a day.
One a day. So maybe you could, it's 12, so you could do 12. And you know, another thing to always remember is you don't have to stitch all 12. And the great thing about the pattern is each page is one pattern. So it's really easy to see. You don't have to squint. My son just came up with a fabulous idea of changing the little legs and the elf legs with red and green and changing eek to elf. Oh, that one. Oh, that's cute. So to make it Christmas, to make it say elf. The fabric is Overcast 25 count by Lori Holt. Thank you to your son who's watching. So fun. Does that just make your eyes hurt? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like at some point when you're doing this, it kind of makes you, I don't know, it just is becomes a little much. And this is 25 count Overcast. It's not Ada. Have I ever reversed sticky board and used tacky glue to hold batting down and then sticky side up to put the cross stitch fabric down? Yes.
I don't like it personally.
Denise does not like it personally. So this is a great point. Carol says she has used 14 count on all of the other ornaments and she thinks it looks good. So go for it. 2 threads over 2 on 25 count, 2 threads over 1 on Ada. And we do have a cross stitch calculator on our site that will tell you, if you put in the type of fabric you're using, what is recommended for the number of strands to use, but also just remember it's all personal choice. There's 1 or 2 of them that I do differently than Cheryl. So you know, I always say just do you, whatever you like, do it. Here comes the glue gun. Oh, that little cute, the cupcake is so cute. And you could do the cupcake in any, just take the bat off if you wanted. Yeah, that's a great tip, Carol. Now see how, now that she used it a while ago, the glue comes out easier. Love the cross stitch calculator. Thank you. That cost us a fortune to do and a lot of time with developers. Ooh, you can smell that glue. Do I have the fabric in stock? Yes. Overcast 25 count. Now, one thing that somebody said earlier is if you didn't want to do, for example, this, I wouldn't glue that down because you're.
I'm not.
Okay. So this, you don't have to put a bow. You could just put ribbon here. And then she's going to show you this next to this, but we're not going to put that one down because we want our cover to be. I would have totally stuck that down and forgot. Ooh, my bow looks good. Jordan's like, no, it doesn't. They look exactly the same. That's so cute. I guess you could do 6 with this and 6 with this. We'll probably just do 1. Yeah, we do have the fabric in stock. Okay, so we're going to clean up a little bit and then kind of show you stitch along progress. But she's going to glue down the correct bow. I forgot that we had correct ones already. And just kind of remember letting it dry, setting it aside, you know, letting that glue really dry. I was at Michael's the other day with Kevin, and there is so much glue now in the glue aisle. I'm like, there's like 20 glues. I'm like, oh my goodness. Where did we get the tin? We got the tin at Fat Quarter Shop. They are called Tart Tin ornament packs, and we spray painted them, and there is a video on YouTube that Denise did, and you can hear her voice and her hands, and like I think Jordan filmed it, and it shows like all the different steps sped up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now we're gonna show you stitch alongs, new stitch alongs that are coming up, stuff I've stitched, and then talk about the next couple of weeks so that you guys, so this is the Spooky and Sweet Mystery Quilt Along. It just ended. So release 4 is now available, and it was 4 releases. So it's completely done. This is a completely free pattern at Fat Quarter Shop. It was stitched by Cheryl on charcoal dyed effect 14 count Ada by Fabric Flare. and it's completely free. And so part 1 was here, and then it went 2, 3, 4, or something like that, 2, 3, 4. And one thing that I read on social media, which was really cute, is if you didn't want to do the vampire, you could do a second, if you could get it to fit, second ghost, and do like a male, female. How many ornaments do you get out of one piece of the 25 count? You need 2. Okay, Denise did 1. When I did them, I did 2. Depends how much margin. I do a bigger margin than Denise does. So I do 3 inches and Denise does 2. So speaking of free, this is our upcoming Star of Wonder. So just to show you, these 2 are completely free patterns from Fat Quarter Shop. This one is about to start. It starts next week. So this is going to be a free pattern. There's a thread pack for both the Mystery Star of Wonder and the Spooky and Sweet. This one was stitched by Cheryl using 14 count Aida in white chocolate. There's this cute needle minder that is designed by Brittany. I want to show you something with this. It would look so cute just right here. And it will stay on your piece, if that makes sense. So you could put 1 in each corner if you wanted to. It definitely can be used as part of your decoration. That's one thing that we're going to be doing, is showing you how you can use these after you've used them in your piece to decorate with. I think it's really cute to have a like a board and then stick them all on there. So this is the threads, so you can see the threads, and this is the fabric. And I'm going to give you a little peek. Now it starts next week. There is a free quilt along to go with this also. This one is, well, you can kind of see, but really cute, really great Kimberly colors. So again, white chocolate, 14 count, and then all of the information on how Denise finished this is right here. Whenever you're looking at a Fat Quarter Shop, It's So Emma, Lori Holt cross stitch pattern, we're going to give you as much detail. Anything that you guys would ask in a video is on the pattern, and we just put that on there so you know what is available. And Denise did the finishing on this, and this is a magnet. Is that a magnet? No, this is not, but this is. Yeah. So that if you want to change it out. But we just, a lot of times we don't take the piece on, put it on magnets, because we keep it as a permanent piece. But this we might want to use next year on something, if that makes sense. So sometimes the way that Denise finishes them is more like thinking of the business rather than what Denise would do at home. Denise does a lot of interchanging if it's her personal piece, if that makes sense. I'm going to put this on here and leave it. It's so cute. Look, it doesn't even move. Okay, so that is coming out. Now, what I wanted to tell you is I really want you guys to stitch this. I'm going to be out for a lot of July, so I'm a little bit worried that you guys are not going to buy this and sew along, and I don't want you guys to miss out on the free pattern, but I am going to be out a lot in July. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but please don't forget about this, because I would hate for this to not be successful this year just because I'm not on live stream a lot in July. Now I'm going to show you all my stitching. So I've been a busy little bee. So you can see how much margin. I do a little bit more margin than Denise. And Denise is going to be finishing these, and I'm going to be out next week, so she's going to have a lot of time to finish, and I won't be emailing her. She's going to be so excited. Okay, so this is monthly weigh-in by Stitching with the Housewives. These, I stitched all 12 on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco. We did get another shipment of tea-dyed Monaco and white Monaco recently. So if we were out and we have it, great. So I always like to do the small ones because you can start and stop, and you know, I can watch about one episode. Those take me no longer than 2 hours. So I did this weekend. I think I did this Sunday and this Monday. So I got these done this week. And then this is the start of June. So June has the weigh-in. What is it, a scale? So like it's got the scale. So I'll do this part and then this part. And I'm going to be going on vacation, and I'm hoping when I get back that I have July, August, and I'm going to probably have this done before I go out of town. And that way I can just have Denise finish all of them. She's going to be doing videos of her finishing too, so that you're going to see her hands and you'll know her hands. Put your hands so you can tell the difference in her hands. She always has long nails, and our rings are different, and she always has like a more of a natural color, and I always have this color. Funny story, the nail lady I went to, she was like, try this other color, and I tried it, and y'all didn't notice that I changed it, but when I went back, it was so hard to take off, and she was like, can you please go back to the other one? This is too hard to take off. It was kind of funny. So this, I got this done, and very excited. This took me, I will say this took me about 10 hours. This took me quite a long time. I found some really good stuff to watch on Hulu though. I couldn't figure out how to reset my password, and I begged Kevin to do it, and he did it. And I watched like 10 documentaries. Okay, so another thing, Jolly July, we're still doing it. I'm just not going to be on live stream as much in July. So Believe in Magic is the first of the Jolly July by Priscilla and Chelsea. It's available in paper pattern now. It will be available in a PDF in about 6 weeks. And so just so you know, this right here is fabric. And it starts here. So it's got a snowman, 3 houses, and this will be so easy to stitch. And I am going to stitch, Denise got it all kitted up. So I like to use both blacks. This is the chalkboard black 14 count. This is what, years ago when I started using the, when Priscilla and Chelsea went into business and started, I did all of their Christmas on this. So anything that's a Priscilla and Chelsea is going to be on chalkboard black. That way at home I can mix and match. Anything that maybe isn't, you know, I kind of did on the new black. That's the Monaco that now we can't get any more of. But I'm going to stitch this and hopefully have this done. Now, Priscilla and Chelsea are going to come out with 4 sassy strippers and 4 roundabouts. Probably bonuses also. I haven't asked them about the bonuses yet throughout July. I'm going to stitch all of them. I just don't have them to show you. And one thing I did want to show you. When we pull these, I want to show you. These were pulled from the store, meaning I placed an order at Pet Quarter Shop. These 2 are from my stash. You can tell because they have more thread on them. I'm always using up from my stash when I can, so that when I'm buying stuff, I don't have to buy, you know, a new queen bee. The one thing I have been running out of bamboo lately, so I bought a bunch of bamboo when we got some more in. And this one will be done by the next time you see it. But basically, when I'm out of town, we will be showing everything I stitch. You'll just have to find it on social media. And of course, when I come back, you're going to see it. And thank you to Denise for kitting this for me. And just watch social media for all of Priscilla and Chelsea's. I don't want to miss out on Jolly July just because I'm gone. Oh, this is a follow-up from last week. Here's my glasses. I couldn't find them. Okay. So last week, oh my gosh, this is the mess. See, I'm not always neat. This was what I showed you last week. And I was just kind of having trouble stitching on this. This is Mushroom 28 count Lugana, and it is, I feel like it's a lot softer than Lori's 25 count for some reason. I don't know why, but I've had it, it's the same exact, maybe it's not. I don't know, I think it's the same because it's got the orange, but I just was not having good luck stitching it. Now I've stitched the first 2 of the 6 in the Simply Signs, but I just was not enjoying it. And so we were sold out of the Mushroom 14 count. So Denise found this, which is 14 count in, what's the name of it? Lamb's wool. I can never think of that word, lamb's wool. So this is lamb's wool, and this is how the floss looks. Now, I did have to buy a second frozen margarita because I'm not going to pull all that out. Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is how I leave it. Now we're developing a product for this kind of stuff in my bag because I decided I needed something. I can't tell you what it is, but I think that's gonna look good. So I'm gonna finish this by the next time, and thank you to Denise for finding a fabric that would work. And I just throw these in, like literally just like that. Sometimes I'm neater, sometimes I'm not. Just kind of depends what kind of mood I'm in. I also stitched Barn Sweet Barn 2, or the 2024 Barn Sweet Barn. So this one we will show next time with Denise's and Cheryl's. Oh, she has them. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is mine, January, February, March, April, May, June. You can stitch them as one piece or individual pieces. This is stitched by Denise. This is stitched on 25 count Cloud Lugana by Lori Holt. This is stitched by me on 14 count Pale Gray Gingham Check. Is that right?
Pale gray gingham.
Pale Gray Gingham. And so basically these are the same. Oh, it kind of glued down. I can't take it off. I think it's stuck, but I just wanted to show you her stitching is a little bit different than mine. And when you, okay, so when you can, let me show you this. You can do it like this, or you can turn it like this. And her stitching, it looks lighter than mine. My stitching is always darker than Cheryl and Denise's, and we don't know why. It's just the way we pull. And this one I'm gonna do, I'll do July, August, September, October, November, December. I don't think we're doing the series next year. So we always have the previous 3 years that we've done that you can pull from. So I got that done. The one thing I have not finished for this month is I haven't done the temperature and I haven't finished the June weigh-in, but I have a lot of progress. Now this I wanted to finish early. This is our Moonbeams Charity quilt along or cross stitch along. This is all finished. This is another free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop, finished on this really cute piece right here. Okay, so the final release will come out next week. It's not out yet. This is the final release. I did this, I think, 2 nights ago. There are DMC conversions on this list. I stitched using the Moonbeams Classic Colorworks thread pack. This is 14 count navy by Witchell. And okay, so one thing that I haven't announced on this channel is we are at 28,557. We're trying to get to 50,000. If we get to 50,000, if you donate in the Make-A-Wish campaign at least $25 and you put your name and your email in there so that we can contact you. If we get to 50,000 by the end of July, we're gonna do a 1-hour Zoom with one winner with me. So if you wanna donate to Make-A-Wish, that would be great. And that will be through the end of July. If we don't get it to the end of July, then we'll probably just not do that. And the donations, when you make them to Make-A-Wish, go directly to Make-A-Wish. So to be entered, $25, make sure you put your name and your email. Don't put anonymous because that's not, when you donate, you're donating through Make-A-Wish system, not our system. So we will have to pick someone, contact Make-A-Wish, and have them provide that information back to us. But I think this one looks really good. I love the navy. It was very easy to stitch on compared to black. I don't have any kind of trouble stitching on black though, but to me this was just like stitching on anything else. Okay, so now the next thing we have is announcements. So next week I will not be here because I'm going on vacation. There will not be a Stitchy Talk for July, and there will not be a Stitchy Talk for August because I have 4 children. So we're just gonna say that. I'm gonna be out of town next week. So you're not gonna see me, you're probably not gonna see any stitching, I'm not gonna have a floss tube. The second week of July, I'm going to be at Lori's house doing a photo shoot. Jordan and Denise are going to be with me, with Sarah, Lori, Jocelyn. We're all going to be at her house on the Friday, July 10th. I will have 12th. July 12th, if you go to our quilting channel, we're going to have a live stream for her new book called Prairie Home, live from Lori Holt's house. It's only quilting. There's no cross stitch in the book, but if you want to see some beautiful quilts, you'll want to join me July 12th. But July 10th, I will not be here. The next week, I have a kid that's having a surgery. We're just going to say that. It's nothing major. And it's not even going to be in Austin. It's going to be out of town. So I'm not going to be here the third week of July. So when I come back on the fourth week of July, I'll have a ton of stuff. I will have all of the Jolly July. I will have just all kinds of sew along progress. And of course, if you have questions until then, definitely would love to see, you still watching the channel when I'm gone. But yeah, I will be out the next 3 weeks. Please don't worry. Everything is fine. Vacation, Lori's house, surgery. Totally fine. Now this giveaway is straight from Denise. So this is a special giveaway. Only one of you will get a chance to send in 12 ornaments. Now the thing is, they have to be stitched on 25 count. And Denise is going to personally finish them for you. They have to come from our release of one of those 5, either the spooky or the previous 4. Has to be one of those. She's going to finish them in the Tart Tin. And it has to be on 25 count Lugana because that's what she's used to doing. So to enter, you have to like the video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment and let me know if you're interested. Don't enter if you're not going to stitch one because then that wouldn't be fair to somebody who does stitch them. Enter and let me know which ones you would stitch that Denise would finish, and then Ashley's going to pick the winner next Wednesday. You have until July 2nd to enter, and then Ashley announces it on the 3rd, and she announces it in the community tab in YouTube. So if you're in YouTube, you just find the community tab, and she's always in there chatting, and anytime you comment on a video, she'll answer. So good luck for the entry. Now, another thing is, you have to give us at least 4 to 6 weeks to get that done because it's got to come here and she's got to finish that in between all the other things. So it's not going to be a 1 week turnaround. It'll be like a month, but she'll probably do a video of her doing it too so you can see your stuff on video. So I hope that all of you have a wonderful July. I will miss all of you and I will see you at the end of July. See you then.